Hi all, I'm your host Cryptic and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about the Nintendo Switch 2 in Melbourne, doing the Nintendo experience there. A lot of fun, a lot of things to do. You get a full 4 hours for general access for the public if you manage to secure your tickets for your time session. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into it and talk about everything that we got to see. Now the Switch 2 itself, massive 8-inch screen, nice and bright, solid feeling in the hands, much larger, evenly distributed weight. Joy-Cons, deliberate button on the back for each one to pull them off, and a satisfying snap with the magnets and the proprietary connector that you can see. They're a lot more friendly towards larger hands as opposed to the current Switch, which is more for smaller hands. And when they go in, it's a deliberate, nice, clean magnetic snap. It is really, really good in design of build quality, not rattly at all on the current rail system. Same with the stand. It's a proper full stand, full articulation, a lot more degree of motion, but a lot more solid. It's not just a standard kickstand that's available now that is just flimsy. As you can see everything that's included with it. They've got the displays there, so the actual console with the docking station and the updated grip to go with the obviously Switch 2 Joy-Cons. It is only in black now, but does have the accent colors on the end. The lanyard attachments that also works to use it as a mouse. Obviously power brick, USB-C charging cable, HDMI, and the box itself. So everything that's standardized in that. And of course, they also had all the accessories that are available, the official carrying case, the GameCube controller, so you can do the GameCube games through the expansion pass, the new Pro controller, the V2 version. Got to play with that there. It was very comfortable. The camera was actually a surprise. I think using it in person was a lot more impressive than seeing the trailers. Now for those really into Mario Kart and motion controls, you've got the Joy-Con 2 wheel grips in the orange and the blue, and of course an additional grip. Now you can get them separate, what I've seen, just for the Joy-Cons, or you can get it bundled in with the grip. Now with all the games that had everything here, Mario Kart World in the various modes, handheld, big screen, elimination, etc. We'll sort of go through that as the footage goes on, but it was packed, just everyone having a good time and playing, and just them playing the trailer, doing live events there, people lining up again and again. The biggest takeaway for me was Mario Kart World. I'll be honest, I didn't enjoy the last Mario Kart 8 or the Deluxe that much. It felt like something was missing, whether it was a main campaign mode or anything, but for whatever reason, Mario Kart World really grabbed my attention. Now, of course, got to play Donkey Kong Bonanza on the Switch 2. I didn't know what to expect with this one. Got to see it had some sort of mining mechanics, all that kind of stuff. But the biggest thing here was the visuals, so vibrant, 4K. Felt like it was 60 FPS. It didn't feel like 30. Didn't notice too much stutter, to be honest. When it comes at a certain distance away, compared to when you're PC gaming, when you're on console, the further away you are, the harder it is to notice any, how do I put it, stutters or issues graphically or anything like that. So there wasn't any of that happening there, which was fantastic. With the game itself, a lot of fun. So using the Pro controller there, wired and connected using the USB, heaps of fun. I probably spent, out of I think all the single player focus games, this one was the one I probably spent the most on at a station, just because Donkey Kong was probably my childhood platformer, more so than Mario. It was the one that I enjoyed the most, especially on the Super Nintendo, and I got to play that. And of course, all the different mini games that you get to play using the mouse mode on the Joy-Cons. As you can see, super easy. Joy-Con didn't grip, didn't want to fall over, didn't feel like your fingers were cramped or anything. You still held it in a sense of the way you would hold a mouse, but it felt very natural. It seems like they've implemented this really well, and all the games that are currently due to come out in the launch window and new seem to really incorporate the mouse functions really well. Now this is the sort of welcome to the Switch 2, the demo that isn't bundled into the to the Switch 2. You have to buy it separately. Now when I asked the staff there that were running the demonstration, This one here is at 15 Australian dollars. So look at your local currency. I believe it's about $10 US. If it's incorrect, I'll leave a caption below correcting that. Now it has a whole bunch of like these mini game stations that were meant to teach you a bit more about the architecture and everything of the Switch 2 and how the mouse pads work. And you can see here, they just snap on. Same as you'd be snapping the Joy-Cons onto the screen. They disconnect by pressing that same button at the back as well. So they don't come off accidentally, they don't feel cheap, nothing. When they do snap on, it's almost like the mouse attachment sort of that's bundled in, like that's how the whole mold of the mouse is. And as you can see, the way you hold the mouse is intuitive. It's not crampy. You don't really have to full on claw grip it because it is longer. Yes, it is slim, but it felt natural. And just sort of if you're used to using the Joy-Con separately, which I preferred, I didn't like using the grip on the Switch 2 because I have the larger hands. This felt more like that, how when you're playing Zelda or any other game where you could have one to the right, one to the left. It felt like that, except one's in a mouse position, the other one's sort of free for you to navigate and do all this sort of stuff. So yeah, quite interesting, quite fun. All the mini games varied between trying to sort of almost do like sort of this spin on Space Invaders, but you're dodging all the asteroids, or just asteroid the game, and just dodging everything and seeing how long you can last, and getting that perfect time. And another one trying to find out pinpoint the vibration to sort of show you how accurate the haptic motors are in the Joy-Cons. So really good. Now further using them here, so for the wheelchair game that they've been promoting, the sport, sort of the basketball game here, and learning tutorial through that on how to use that. The annoying thing I found with the setup, because they had the wired in connection directly built into the Joy-Cons, as you notice with my left one, I was struggling there. It kept wanting to run over it. Because there are times where you want to lift off, you don't want to go back, because if you drag back, you start going back, and you want to lift up and go again, lift up and go again, and that cord kept getting stuck on there. And the left wheel wouldn't register properly, so I ended up spinning around, which is quite annoying. But once later on, I don't believe it's captured here in the footage, but once that's resolved, it's quite smooth and easy. It does give you an arm and shoulder workout, so get ready for that. If you're not very active as a person, you're going to feel the burn, especially if you're just used to, you know, normal controller sitting there with your thumbsticks and face buttons and everything, and just pressing those and not really doing motion much. If you're not much of a VR gamer, I guess, or anything like that, you might find it a bit taxing and it might not be the game for you. But there were a fair few people playing this and enjoying it, and the controls are very intuitive, really fun. There is a multiplayer aspect to this, so you can play with other people in a competitive one-on-one or team-on-team modes to pretty much play basketball. Really fun, creative. Is it for me? So I'm not really into the whole sporty games, but definitely a fun game for parties. And as you go through, as you can see, you go through all the different modes as you're doing the tutorial, and then you are then thrown into playing with the people next to you. So my side versus the other side, and spoiler, ended up in a draw. We did get an early lead, but there wasn't much of team play, unfortunately, on our side to sort of get in. The guy, all credit to him, was scoring all the points, but there were opportunities where probably should have passed, and that would have opened other opportunities for us to score, etc. But yeah, as you can see, bit of fun there, and can't complain too much. Very competitive, but it seems to do multiplayer pretty well. In the environment that they showed, multiplayer as a whole was fun. Now, this is one of the other big standouts for me was Metroid, and I got to use it in the mouse mode. Cool thing is, when you lift up the right Joy-Con, which is registered for the mouse input for the aiming and shooting, if you were to lift it up, it automatically transitions to the standard controller style. So super, super cool. A lot of fun. Really intuitive, really accurate. Didn't feel like I was cheaped out or cheated out with the controls or the accuracy or the input latency or anything. It felt super smooth, super fun. Again, couldn't notice any real hitching or jaggy edges or weird sort of visual effects or anything like that. Everything was smooth and clean, super clean. And I think that comes from the benefit of it docking and outputting in 4K. Even though the maximum being 4K 60, 4K, native 4K does so much for the sharpness and the cleanliness of an image as a whole. You don't really need anti-aliasing to be there, which taxes frame rate. Of course, you can do the upscaling techniques, etc., and they help. But just 4K on its own is huge, absolutely huge, in just eliminating the jaggies compared to 1080p and 1440p, right? And jumping straight to 4K. Absolutely phenomenal. Huge highlight for me playing Metroid. This brought back a lot of memories for me, and just great experiences flooding back and just going, wow, this is really awesome. And it's a bit of a shame that we haven't had these first-person Metroid games more recently. Whether it's a sales issue or not, I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up to date with that sort of side of things. But having all of this, playing this, watching this, Nintendo and the developers can make some awesome first-person shooters, like really awesome ones. And they should just do more with it. More Metroids, more new IP, more spin-offs in first person. I think they just do it really well. And something that I'm personally craving from a PlayStation side is them to get back and go through their back catalog and re-release or bring in new entries into first-person franchises that we've just missed from the original PlayStation all the way through to PS3, that we didn't really get on PS4, 5. Nintendo, keep doing this. This is bloody awesome. So yeah, a lot of fun, and I got through all the way to the end, just enjoying this so much. Of course, I had to try Yakuza. I'm a huge Yakuza fanboy. Yakuza 0 was the one that got me into it on the PlayStation 4, and then I fell straight into the rabbit hole, and I've played every single one, and I own every single game available in the West as a physical copy. So proud fan. Seeing it cleaned up in high resolution, 60 FPS, and apparently it added with them fixing the cutscenes. So if you know in original Yakuza 0, they had certain cutscenes where it was just like comic book slides or manga slides, and others were fully rendered out proper or in-game cutscenes, and it was this weird confusion. But despite that, absolutely awesome game. Seems like they fixed all that. They've added additional side content, probably added a bit more to the story from my understanding as well, and just made it this full-fledged experience. And currently only on the Switch 2. If you want it, it's only on the Switch 2. It's not coming to PC. It's not coming to PlayStation or Xbox. So yeah. Mario Party Jamboree Plus Jamboree TV. Surprise hit for me. The motion controls, the camera. Now, I didn't get to record showing us using the camera. There's sort of a demo happening behind this where they take you into a room and you get to play some property stuff. It does show up on the top left there where it captures you and all that, and it is so much fun. Now, from that, it's one of those things where you've sort of got to really try the camera itself to really understand. I don't think their trailers did it justice. We didn't get to try any of the chat stuff, but yeah. Now this was the big elimination with 24 players all live. Our side was the one on the big screen. This was a lot of fun. I managed to lead for a whole entire lap. First lap, got blue shelled, and then that was the end for me. This was so much fun. I wanted to line up again and again to play it, but wanted to also experience everything, try to record a bit of everything as well. And it was so much fun. They had Kirby there. They had all the different mini games, Street Fighter, the whole lot. Not everything we could record, but it was a lot of fun. And I highly recommend, if you get a chance, try it out at your local store. But yeah, guys, that's me from the event. If you liked the video, a thumbs up, a comment, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and share the video, please. Thank you for watching. And of course, I will catch you all in the next one. Take care. See ya.